February 5th.
I'll make a motion to approve the February 5th minutes.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is approval of claims for payment of February 12th.
I'd make a motion to approve the claims for payment dated February 12th, 2020.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. We have Judge Haney here. Would you like to come up and speak?
If you'd like me to. Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Can I sit that there?
Absolutely.
All right. I have to have coffee in the morning, or else I won't function well. But thank you
Right there with you.
to the board. The board has invited me to speak briefly, and I will try to be very brief about it, regarding courthouse security. And I think some of the changes you've encountered here in Hardin County in that regard. I'm the chair of the Hardin County Security Commission. I was appointed to that position by Chief Judge Wilkie back in I believe, and we've had a number of meetings, usually twice a year, to address the issue of courthouse security. It's been a major emphasis both for counties as well as the judicial branch for many years. And a couple of things I wanted to point out is, first of all, I applaud the Hardin County Board of Supervisors and the folks here in Hardin County for the efforts they have taken to enhance and increase courthouse security here in Hardin County. It's very clear to me that their purpose in doing so is to protect the public and the safety of the public, as well as the safety of all the folks who work here and utilize the services in the courthouse, both with the court system as well as the county offices. I have worked with these folks since we started this process, and it's clear to me that they feel a strong professional as well as a moral obligation to provide for the safety of the residents of Hardin County, and I applaud them for that. I note, and I came in the single point of entry this morning, a young professional by the name of Jamie greeted me. I didn't find that to be too intrusive at all, and I passed through that single point of entry without problems. A couple things I'd like to point out. I've talked with the board about it, maybe to some of you department heads as well as the citizens. In 2015, the Iowa Association of Counties, in conjunction with the Iowa Judicial Council, which is a committee of the judicial branch, adopted guidelines for courthouse and public building security in Iowa. So it was a joint effort between all 99 counties as well as the judicial branch to come up with some guidelines and some criteria. And I think the preamble says a lot. It says, in Iowa, county courthouses and other county buildings are where citizens go to resolve their disputes and obtain services provided by various county offices, including treasurer, recorder, auditor, sometimes sheriff, certainly county attorney. Some people who come to the court or county offices become upset, and they pose a threat to the safety of citizens who are there to conduct business and the people who work there. The facility itself has valuable equipment and records that can also be at risk. Such incidents are becoming more and more common both in urban and rural counties. And I think all of you, if you turned on a news broadcast within the last 6 months, you would have heard plenty of examples of where our public safety was put at risk by people engaging in bad behavior that has caused harm to people. That's happened in courthouses or otherwise. Those guidelines specifically list about 10 criteria, but one of the recommendations that came out of those guidelines was to limit public access to each government office. The clerk of court, the county auditor, the county treasurer, and the other offices to a single entrance within the building. If there are additional doors for entering or exiting such offices, they should be securely locked to prevent entry by members of the public. Employees, however, should be allowed to exit through those doors. The county should consider electronic lock systems that would allow employees to unlock those doors by swiping an encoded employee identity card with an electronic sensor. That was one of the recommendations that was made by this joint commission that was put together between the Association of Counties and the judicial branch back in 2015. That recommendation actually has been long-standing. Back in 2005, the Iowa State Bar Association was tasked to put together by the Supreme Court a security task force and prepare a report in that regard back in 2005, and at that time they made the recommendation that each courthouse points of entry should be monitored to prevent the introduction of weapons or other dangerous instrumentalities. Limiting public access to a single entrance to a courthouse is a cost-effective means to control the flow of persons into the courthouse and to enhance the ability of peace officers to conduct security screenings as necessary. This is not a new thing. And as a matter of fact, many other jurisdictions do the same thing. Every single federal courthouse I've ever entered required me to go through a single point of entry as a judge. And my bag was checked, I was checked, I had to empty my pockets. God willing, I hope to get on an airplane on the 25th to go see my daughter in Tampa. But I suspect to get on that airplane, I'll have to go through a single point of entry. I'll have to empty my pockets. I'll have to be subject to a search. My wife's got 2 new hips. I suspect she'll set off the beeper and she'll have to go through a more thorough search. But all that was designed to make sure that I could safely travel to go see my daughter down in Florida. And much of what the County Board of Supervisors have done here is to make sure that folks can safely come into this courthouse to do their business. I think they've taken their charge very importantly. I think they've taken it seriously, and frankly, I think the work that's been done both by facilities in terms of adding that, I don't know what you call it, an atrium or an entry area, vestibule out there, it's beautiful. It maintains the historic integrity of the Hardin County Courthouse while at the same time presenting an easy, accessible, and also it's ADA accessible for folks who have disabilities and difficulties getting in to get in and out of the building. I pointed out there's many other jurisdictions, not only in federal court, but many other jurisdictions have recommended and done this in their court systems and their county courthouses. I pulled a couple of guidelines. Michigan has security guidelines that they've enacted regarding main entrances and exits with limited access. Georgia has provided strict security standards for their courthouses and court rooms. And those public entrances to the courthouse and the courthouse annexes are limited to an absolute minimum, and they do that for good reason. They want to keep the citizens who do business here safe. They want them to feel safe to do their business, and I think we all know that I can speak to court proceedings. I suppose folks who are taking tax payments can also speak to people not always being very friendly when it comes to tax time and they're paying their tax bill, but certainly in court proceedings, people are usually in one of the most difficult situations they've ever faced, whether it's a civil dispute, a criminal dispute where somebody's charged with a criminal offense, a mental health proceeding, a substance abuse proceeding, or those type of things. And we have witnesses, we have victims. Those people need to feel safe to do the business they do in order for us to do our job. So I wanted to just take this moment to applaud your Board of Supervisors for taking the efforts that they've done to make this place safer. I also think there's an important aspect of it that also probably should be mentioned. It provides for the long-term viability of Hardin County to serve as a county center for the court system. By doing that, I think your folks have been forward-thinking in terms of setting the Hardin County Courthouse up to remain a viable center for court proceedings. It certainly would beat traveling to Hamilton County or Marshall County or elsewhere to have to take care of your court business. So I think they've been on the front end of the curve for making those things happen. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to share the support of the judicial branch, and we do. I talked with State Court Administrator Todd Nuccio and John Gert yesterday about that, and they made it clear in no uncertain terms. Unfortunately, we lost our Chief Justice Katie several months ago to a tragic heart attack, but he was one of the strongest advocates for us to make our courthouses and county offices safe places. That emphasis continues by the judicial branch, and they're very happy to kick me out to reinforce those good things that you folks are doing. I'd certainly be glad to entertain any questions if you have folks. Anybody has any questions for me? None heard. I'll move on and go back to Marshall County.
Thank you
and
very
take care
much.
of my business.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Julie?
I don't have a question, but I do have a kind of a response. I mean, I guess it's good to have a $70,000 a year armed guard out there. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we have over 24 children who are about to lose after school and summer care, though there's a group of people working hard to prevent that. I don't know, compare that person sitting out there to possibly 24 children who become latchkey children with no care, 2 parents working, and they're wondering what their kids are doing at home. It's about public policy. What's your priority? For me, it's those children. Just saying.
Well, from there, I skipped over the approval of the agenda, so I better ask for that.
I'd make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We have a certificate presentation to Merle Chaplin. I don't have the certificate in hand.
Oh, it must be this.
I do have it in hand. So Merle, would you come on up? I'd like to present this certificate of presentation. It's for 47 years of service and dedication, support to the veterans of the state of Iowa for Hardin County. Thank you.
Thank you.
She wants to take a picture of you.
Appreciate it.
Oops. Thank you, Merle. Yep.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you very much.
I'm a little late, but I'm going to start the 9:02 public hearing
Thank you.
on the county maximum property tax dollars. So I'm going to open the public hearing. Is there any public comments? Total tax dollar increases. We're having this meeting because we exceeded the 2% that the state put on us. We have 11.28% increase in the general county services. which is $671,832. The rural county services doesn't exceed the 2%. It's only 1.49% increase at $34,872. One of the largest reasons of this increase is because we moved the insurance from secondary roads and put it into the general supplementary, which was $667,398, which allows more spending rock roads into your department. We've talked about this for a few years as we finally have to do it. So this is what this maximum property tax dollars resolution is about. Are there any questions? Hearing none, I can ask to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I do have one. Were there any written comments? Okay. No more discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next we have is a maximum property tax dollars resolution.
I'd make a motion to adopt the maximum property tax resolution as presented.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
BJ,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
Lance.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have a set date and time for the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget hearing.
I'd make a motion to set the date and time for the 2021 budget hearing for March 25th, 2020 at 9:02 a.m. in the large conference room of the Hardin County Courthouse.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
March 25th.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Utility permits. I had none. Secondary roads.
Having trouble finding sand again, but yeah. Greg thought he had it on the hook, now it's gone, so. One of those deals again. We're just trying to get through the winter, as always.
Okay.
So that's all I really got for you.
Next, we have is the open of integrated roadside vegetation management herbicide application proposals. We have these right here.
Yep.
You want to take them up front, open them
That's
for
fine.
us?
Yep, since they're gonna be different in every way, I don't think we should really dive into them today, but let's just acknowledge that we got them.
So you'll just acknowledge them, and then you'll dissect them, bring it back to us.
Yes.
Okay.
Since, I mean, it's not apples to apples at all, so
Okay.
I don't think we want to sit here for an hour and waste everybody's time. I got one here from Wes Ferris. He is owner of Ferris Brothers of Union. And there are other ones marked on the outside from a company in Albert Lee, Minnesota. It's called DBI Services. Okay, so, yes, we
Okay.
got the two of them.
Just
And,
two.
yep. I'll kind of update you on what they wanted. I don't know if you want to just discuss this next week then?
Sure, do you want to
Yes.
put like a
Today.
synopsis together of what
Yeah,
was
I
in
could do
each of
that.
them?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lance, do you want just a motion to acknowledge the receipt?
Yes.
Okay. I'd make a motion to acknowledge the receipt of Ferris Brothers and DBI Services IRVM herbicide application proposals.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have is resolution setting date and time for the public hearing on road vacation in Lawn Hill.
Yes, so we were asked by Linda Hayes, she owns the 90% of Lawn Hill. And she would like some of the old, you know, it's another one of those old towns where they plotted the roads and it never happened. So she would like to own every road that she can, you know, that her property surrounds. So Joe's been working on that, so we'll have the public hearing and we'll have a map for you that day and we can kind of show you what they want to do.
Do you have a proposed date?
We suggested March 11th.
I'd make a motion to set the date and time for the public hearing on the road vacation in Lawn Hill for March 11th at 9:02 a.m. in the large conference room of the Hardin County Courthouse.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
BJ,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
Lance.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
Taylor.
you. Next we have is County Mental Health and Disability Services Advisory Board. We have a resignation and an appointment.
I will make a motion to acknowledge the resigning of Sherry Manning from the Marshall County, or the Hardin County MHDS Advisory Board.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? She's no longer with Central Iowa Recovery.
Correct.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
And I'll make a motion to appoint Jennifer Knott to fill that vacancy created by Sherry Manning's resignation.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? That term will expire 12/31/20. And she is with Central Iowa Recovery.
Correct.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Now I have is the Sheriff's Monthly Report.
I will make a motion to approve the Sheriff's Monthly Report for the month of January.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. We have discussed Iowa Governmental Health Care Plan.
We have change of status.
Oh, I missed that one too. Next is change of status IT.
I'd make a motion to approve the hiring of Michael Pierce, full-time IT technician at the salaried rate of $40,000 per year.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Effective February 24th, 2020.
And this is a non-exempt position.
Correct.
Any other discussion? Sounded like you had a lot of great candidates. Hearing no more discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Now I have is discuss Iowa Governmental Health Care Plan. We put this on here, but I don't think we're ready for it. We're going to meet next week.
Denise and from IGHCP and Tom Schutz from Group Services are planning on coming up next Wednesday to meet with us about the health insurance benefits. So, yep, that's where we're at now. Just finalizing some numbers from both entities to get a competitive bid.
So I will
No
go on to the
action.
next one.
Okay.
Public comments. Hearing no
I've
public.
got one.
Oh, come on up.
I'm Mike May, I live here in Eldora. There was a comment came up here a couple weeks ago, I think, about the Redemption Center and about the solid waste. The building has now been sold. The new owner is gonna let it stay there. We ran the Redemption Center for about 11 years. There was really no money in that. We tried our best to get somebody to take it over. Matter of fact, I've still got 5 machines if anybody wants them to where they can run one. But Randy Sizemore's gonna be buying the building, and he's agreed to leave it there, provided people don't drive through the grass, which they have consistently. So, he'll probably put a fence up or something to stop that. But, it kinda works out well there, and he's just gonna use it for storage. So, for right now, he's agreed to leave that there, so that can answer your question. And it was the Masonic Temple that opened, by the way.
Okay.
Yep. I don't think I had the question because I knew the brothers in the lodge owned that. So.
I'm not sure where.
Yeah.
I
Don't-
remember someone saying it.
But I appreciate the dedication of, the lodge members for all the years of doing it for not much return on investment, and
No, it wasn't.
but provided a very good service.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other public comments? Any other business?
I have none.
I can ask for adjournment.
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.